Hello, hello, hello. It is me, Quarantine Gandhi, with the video for day 13 of self-isolation. Once again, this has been a musical endeavor where, just turn on all my very expensive lighting equipment. This has been a musical endeavor I'm calling the GUncle Lull-Ah-Bye series, where I, a GUncle, sing what I want to sing, how I want to sing it, when I want to sing it, to the audience of my choosing, which is my little nieces, who I loved singing to this past summer. We only have 2 songs left. It's been an interesting journey. Some videos, looking at them in hindsight now, I'm proud of. Some of them I'm like embarrassed of. Some of them just are what they are, but I'm just going to put it out there into the world and hope that it wasn't just a complete mistake. But I will survive if it was, because what I'm trying to do with these last 5 songs is talk about how we will all survive any kind of loss. You know, mistakes usually turn out into loss. I also have been sharing unsolicited advice during this series, and I'm going to give a couple pieces of unsolicited advice today. As per usual, I've got a beverage. Tip number 1. When choosing a red wine, look for something that's about 3 years old or older. 3 years is probably pretty good. And be sure to let it breathe. It sounds stupid, but it really does make a difference. Like, it just does. Take my word for it. Try it yourself. And drink responsibly. And the other unsolicited advice that I want to share are 2 quotes that came into my life both today. One from a yoga instructor who I flowed with online today, and that was that there are no such things as failures. It's all just feedback. It's from Jacqueline Umoff, and a very like peppy yoga instructor who, she's just like peppy, has self-love, and I am here for it. And then also from an educational influence that I have entering my life today. Today was my first day of online classes. I am a student, I'll share that with you, giving a little bit of context to Quarantine Gandhi's life. Quarantina studies. Anyhow, the quote was, "All progress occurs outside the comfort zone." And I think as I rewatch these videos and decide, am I actually insane enough to put this on the internet and like show people like what I truly think, how I truly feel? Like the answer is like, yes, I am. I'm just gonna do it. Like, what do I have to lose? Like nothing. I'm already single, so like can't really lose a person. I am quarantining alone. Like, I mean, sure, I have stuff to lose. Like I have a lot to be grateful for my life. Like I have a roof over my head. I have pretty consistently been able to keep my belly full over the years, and I have my health, which during this time is something to really be thankful for. But yeah, we need to push ourselves outside of our comfort zone if we want to make any progress, and I have been trying to do that with these last couple of songs. This is again day 13. We only have 1 song left, but what we've been talking about for the past few days, if you're watching in order, has been loss. Now, while my nieces are still like super young, and like the idea of loss is pretty limited to like the loss of a pacifier or the loss of like a toy between siblings, things like that. Loss does speak to everybody at some point in their life, and especially right now. That said, let me shush myself, something I rarely do, and just start singing. And I'll just let you know, this is a song that has been done by at least 3 artists that I know of, but I'm going to channel an artist called India Ari, who, to my pleasant surprise, is someone that I really like, but also who a relative that I didn't even know existed, literally a long-lost relative. Like, I have that much of a cinematic lifestyle that I have a long-lost relative who I have found. Well, she found us. And we both love India Ari. So I'm going to sing in the style of her today, and here we go. I got the call today I didn't want to hear, but I knew that it would come. An old true friend of ours was talking on the phone. She said she found someone. That means a wedding invitation. And I thought of all the bad luck and all the struggles we went through. How I lost me, how you lost you. What are all these voices outside love's open door? Makes us throw off our contentment and beg for something more. I'm learning to live without you now, but I miss you sometimes. The more I know, the less I understand. All the things I thought I knew, I had to learn again. I'm trying to get down to the heart of the matter, but my will gets weak. And my thoughts seem to scatter, but I think it's about forgiveness. Forgiveness, even if you don't love me anymore. These times are so uncertain. There's a yearning undefined and people filled with rage. We all need a little tenderness, 'cause how can love survive in such a graceless age? And these pride and competition, well, they cannot fill these empty arms. And the trust and self-assurance. Damn it, I messed up. Backtrack. The trust and self-assurance that lead to happiness are the very things we kill, I guess. And the pride and competition, they cannot fill these empty arms. And that wall we put between us, well, it doesn't keep us warm. I've been learning to live without you now, but I miss you sometimes. The more I know, the less I understand. And all the things I thought I'd figured out, well, I had to learn again. I was trying to get down to the heart of the matter, but my will gets weak. And my friends seem to scatter, but I think it's about forgiveness. Forgiveness, even if you don't love me anymore. There are people in your life who've come and gone. They let you down and they hurt your pride. Gotta put it all behind you, well, 'cause life goes on. You keep carrying that anger, it'll eat you up inside. Well, I'm trying to get down to the heart of the matter, but my will gets weak. And my thoughts, they are scattered, and my heart, it is shattered. But I think it's about forgiveness. Forgiveness, even if you don't love me anymore. Even if you don't love me anymore. Alright, so this is like take like 4 on this song. And I'm just thinking I've had too much wine. And I know the project ends, like, I already have started my online classes again. Like, how I wish they were in person, but, you know, life is like what it is. Like, I just can't keep recording stuff. I need to keep going. This was a musical endeavor about authenticity and being myself and living my truth, and not about being the best, and about being brave and putting yourself out there. So that's what I'm doing. I have to just commit to this now. But I think I can commit to that pretty comfortably, knowing that it was at least a little bit lullaby-like, following the song from yesterday and some other songs like the overextended musical theater ambitions, where it just was so not lullaby. It was just like forced. Even though I really just got lost in this, I think it did come from my heart. And I think, um, obviously, it is about forgiveness, you know? You can't really fully move on from something that you've lost unless you can just kind of like forgive circumstance, forgive yourself, forgive others, forgive whoever you need to forgive universally, and just accept. You just need to accept. And this doesn't have to necessarily be about love that's lost. I think in 2020, this year, there are many things that could be lost. It could be a loved one who had to estrange themselves, like a loved family member or friend who needed to just like cut the cord because things were getting too heavy and these times were too uncertain and people were filled with rage and we all just need a little tenderness. And if the tenderness isn't there and you need to, you know, put some walls around yourself so that maybe eventually you could rebuild and branch out again, there's no harm in putting a wall up if it's going to ultimately make the whole foundation stronger. And I think people who truly do love you will forgive you for that. But even if it is lost, like a job furlough or um, even just, yeah, being let go of any kind of work, or say you were planning that getaway, that holiday trip for like 6 months and then like COVID hit and it's like, oh, South Africa closed its borders, New Zealand closed its borders, like my airline canceled the flight, like, or responsibility called and someone you loved got sick, like knock on wood that didn't happen to me, but like anything could happen that makes you lose something this day and age, and you kind of just have to have acceptance. Like forgiveness is less universal than acceptance. You have to accept circumstance and just know there is always tomorrow. We can't go back in time, but with maturity, we can forgive, we can accept, and we can move on, and we can get somewhere new. And that place will be worthwhile. I can guarantee it. It'll be a different place, but it'll be worthwhile. I think that's kind of a good place to leave that since we're already at 12 and a half minutes. Um, I really appreciate anyone that is watching. And if you aren't watching or you're watching just bits and pieces, that's okay too. Um, Live your life. Be yourself. Be truthful to yourself in a way that serves you and the community around you. I'm Quarantine Gandhi. Very excited to have my last day of quarantine be tomorrow. I'm going to get out of here and do some fun stuff. So cheers, pals. Thanks again.